Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode on getting life insurance with diabetes or other circulatory issues. I'm Chad McMahan with Protect with Insurance. Now, this video is going to be showing the difference between whole life insurance and term life insurance and how diabetes and these other circulatory issues can impact these kind of policies. Now, whole life insurance, if the diagnosis, when you receive the diagnosis of diabetes, as long as you were age 18 or later, then you're fine. Also, any amount of pills or insulin is usually fine. I mean, if it starts to get to the point where you have 3 or 4 diabetes medications, that's something we need to talk about, but we should still be fine. Now, if you've ever had diabetes and an amputation, that's not going to be okay. That distinction is very important because if you've had an amputation for another reason, it might be fine. But with diabetes, it's not. That goes for term and whole life. Other whole life related diabetes categories. If diabetes comes along with something called neuropathy, it's okay, but we need to know that because we need to put it with the right company. Most companies are actually going to decline, but a lot of these, or some of these, are going to approve and give you full coverage right away with no waiting period if you have diabetes plus neuropathy. Now, if you have something called nephropathy or some other related issues that are circulatory problems as a result of diabetes, a lot of those are going to be declined. We need to know about these up front so that we can pair you with the best possible option. If you're a smoker with diabetes, you're fine with whole life insurance. It's simply going to be a smoker rate, and it's going to be no medical exam, start right away kind of policy. Now, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, that's extremely common. Rheumatoid arthritis, totally fine for whole life insurance, even if it's a stronger case of rheumatoid arthritis. The exception is going to be the prescription medicines that may or may not go along with it. So we need to know, these are part of the reasons why we're so thorough when we ask questions about what's going on with you medically, so that we can make sure that we get you approval up front, best possible price with something that's going to start immediately with no waiting period. Now, if you are taking gabapentin, it's also becoming a fairly common prescription medicine. Typically, it's for nerve pain, things like that. And so it very commonly will come along with diabetes plus neuropathy. Also sometimes for arthritis, also sometimes for injuries, things like that. It depends on where your pain is. Diabetes and gabapentin, that is something that triggers the automated approval process or automated decline process that a lot of these life insurance companies are using nowadays. So if you have diabetes and you're taking gabapentin, then we'll categorize it as diabetes plus neuropathy. Sorry, but that is just the way it works nowadays. But the good news is we can pair you with something that's going to be a great fit, great price, start right away. It ticks all the boxes. Now, as far as term life insurance, term is a lot harder to qualify for. So there are a lot of things that get declined related to diabetes and other circulatory issues. Here's some examples. First of all, the diagnosis of the diabetes, it has to be age 30 or after. And the way that these companies view this is the later the diagnosis occurred, the more time your body has had to get used to it, and the earlier the diagnosis, that can indicate deeper problems. So that's why they care about when the age the diagnosis first appeared. Number of diabetes prescription medicines, 2 or less, and that's pills. No insulin. If you're taking insulin with diabetes, it just means we don't go with term, we go with whole life insurance. No neuropathy, no nephropathy, no other similar circulatory issues that have surfaced as a result of the diabetes. For the most part, you need to be a non-smoker if you have diabetes in order to get term life insurance. There are some exceptions to that. So just again, let us know up front so that we can look at the smaller number of companies that have no problem with that. And of course, you'll get a smoker rate, that's a given, but they will approve you. And again, no waiting period on all of these term options. Now, rheumatoid arthritis, I know it is very common. However, it has to be a mild case of rheumatoid arthritis. It has to be totally under control. It has to be actively treated today. It can't be something that you're avoiding treatment, that kind of thing. There has to be a recent track record showing that you're at least taking your medication. You're going in, there's no concerns, that kind of thing. So mild cases, rheumatoid arthritis that's being actively treated, you're going to be fine for term life insurance. Now, general rule of thumb, if you watch some of the other videos, read some of the other blogs, you already know this. Term life insurance, the general rule for that is, you have to be healthier in order to get approved. So regardless of diabetes or something else, 3 or less prescription medicines accumulatively. So even if you're just taking 1 or 2 diabetes meds, but then you have another 2 or 3 meds for anything else, if they're prescription meds, then all that means is, look, we don't go term, we go over to whole life insurance, we focus on that. So I hope that that part has been helpful. Now, as far as your build, meaning your height and your weight, these are things that when it comes to diabetes, they come into play sometimes. I'm a big guy, so I can certainly relate. Now, your weight can be up to 250, 350, technically even up to 400 pounds, but it depends upon your height. So if you are 5'2", but you're over 200 pounds, please tell us that right away. I know that we all get a little embarrassed about our height and our weight, but that's an important part of all life insurance, unless you're looking at guaranteed issue, in which case they don't care about that. But we want to try and keep you out of guaranteed issue because the price is better, starts right away. Guaranteed issue has a waiting period on the full coverage. So just let us know early on as far as your build so that we can match you with the best possible options. Now, guaranteed issue, I've mentioned it. It is for people that they're going to get declined. Their issues are more severe. Either it's medical history is a problem, or it's currently what's going on with you is a problem, or maybe your build. Maybe you're 350 pounds and you're 5'6", or even 6 foot, something like that. By the way, there are a couple of insurance companies. They will give you a preferred above average health rating, even if you are 500 pounds and 5 foot tall, where they just don't even look at your height and your weight. But you got to make sure that you don't have other, severe health issues that can come along with height and weight, such as severe diabetes, severe circulatory problems, things like that. So if your health is good, it's just that you're on the heavy side, then call us right away and we'll take good care of you. But the guaranteed issue, as long as you're between the ages of 50, including or between, so if you're 50 through 80, any gender, any health conditions, any height and weight, they will guaranteed approve you. It's just that there's a reduction on the payout if death occurs within the first 2 years. So you get the policy with guaranteed issue, you live for 2 years, then it's 100% payout to your loved ones anytime you die after that point. And during that first 2 years, it's quite a reduction. It is all they receive if you were to die in the first 2 years is every payment that you make to the life insurance company plus 10%. So you just got to outlive that first 2 years, and then it's 100% payout, and it's a normal functioning whole life insurance policy after that point. So this is a lot of information. I hope it was helpful. This is Chad McMahan signing out. Stay safe out there.